Assalamu alaikum. This is a summary video for today. Lesson subject science class 5 unit 5 shadow. Lesson 5.8 the end lesson for this unit. Check your progress. Learner book page number 1881 and your homework for today page number 46 from your activity book. So let's start. Today we solve the exercise. Use the following word in the sentence to describe how a shadow forms. Shadow, light, light source, object, locked and open. So let's make a statement. When light from a light source is blocked, when light from a light source is blocked by an opaque object, then in this form, so we can say a shadow form. A shadow forms by an opaque object. A shadow forms. Here is a list of material: clear plastic wrap, tin foil, clear glass, wooden block, tint glass. So choose two of the material that are opaque. So which two material from here you can say block the light. So you can write here tin foil, this is blocking the light, and wooden block. These two are opaque object. Okay, now next to material translucent, tint, clear glass, clear plastic, translucent mean half light block, not all. So when you need to write here tint glasses, glass, tint glass, and plastic wrap. With this one, plastic wrap and tint glass. These tools are you can say translucent, half light blocked. Choose one of the material that is transparent. So remaining clear glass. So write it clear glass here. Question number three. Chad is making a shadow puppet show. He cut off his puppet from cupboard like this and struck it on a stick like this, but the shadow was too big for his scene. The shadow was too big for his scene. So what is a Chad using for a light source? Sorry, just a minute, boys. Okay, what is a Chad using for a light source? Obviously, he is using a lamp. So we write here a lamp. What is Chad using for the screen? A sheet. You can see behind it there is a sheet. He is using a sheet. So we write here sheet. Describe two way in which chat clouds make the shadow smaller, smaller, not bigger, smaller. So you need to write he could move the puppet closer to the screen. If any object which is near to the light, their shade bigger, their shadow bigger. So he should move his puppet closer to the screen, not closer to the light. Or he could move the lamp for further back. Same thing. If you move your lamp back or you're moving to the screen side, so it you can get smaller of the puppet shadow. Some children did a shadow stick experiment, copy and complete the sentences above shadow length at different time of the day. In the last my lecture, we discussed about this. Choose the correct answer. Between 8 and midday, the shadow becomes shorter or longer. It's become shorter. It become shorter. 8 and midday, the shadow become shorter. Between midday and 4 4 o'clock, you see the time for this and this. 4 o'clock, the shadow becomes shorter or longer. Obviously, at 16 or 4 p.m., the shadow become longer. 4 p.m. This is after you can say afternoon. Afternoon you can say the shadow is longer, shorter at sunrise or and sunset. The shadow is longer or shorter at sunrise and sunset, the beginning of the day and the end of the day. The shadow is longer because at the time of this is sun here, and the shadow is longest you can say or longer, longest it's better. But also if it's rising, sun rising or sunset time, the shadow is longest, shortest in the middle of the day. Middle of the day, the moon and the sun is at the center. So at that time, the shadow it's shortest. So we write here the shadow is shortest in the middle of the day. Question number 5. Leo and Julio are traveling by the car through a tunnel. The tunnel is 10 kilometers long. At first, it is completely dark in the tunnel because the tunnel is not straight; it's curved. Light travel in a straight line. Then after 5 minutes, you say, "Look, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel." Why? Because now it's straight. First, it's turned and then straight. Explain why the boys could not see the light at the end of the tunnel to begin with. So light. So you need right light travel in straight line, and there is a bend in the tunnel, so that the light from the end of the tunnel cannot be seen at first. Once the boy have traveled around the bend, just a minute. Once the boys have traveled around the bend of the light from the end of the tunnel can travel straight into their eyes. Obviously, in the beginning, there was a bend in tunnel like this and then straight. So at that time, he cannot see because light travel in a straight line. So when he reached there, so he can see easily. Okay, boys, page number 46, your homework. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.